everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. And Sam and I are very happy to have the head basketball coach at CHS with us, Kerry Brown. And Kerry, how are things going?
Good, better, getting better every day, I guess.
Right.
Thanks for having me.
We really appreciate you taking the time to join us here mid-season of the basketball season going on, and you got some tough games coming up.
Yeah, we're 10-4 now, so I think we'll play 24 games this year. So we've just passed the midway part of our number of games anyway. It seems like we've had some tough games, but yeah, we've got a brutal schedule coming up here the rest of January, and then still some tough games in February before we get to the tournament. But hopefully between now and then, we'll get some things straightened out. We'll be playing our best ball come the end of the season when sectional rolls around, and there's a few games between now and then we'd like to play pretty good in conference games so that we can still affect our position and our standing in the conference, which we're right now tied for first, undefeated with Lawrenceburg, I believe.
3-0.
Yeah.
You've got four conference games.
We have left. We've got to play Franklin County, Lawrenceburg, East Central, Batesville. Should be the four we have left.
Okay.
And it'll be Batesville, East Central, Franklin County, Lawrenceburg in that order.
Pretty good teams.
Yeah. Nothing's been decided yet. Maybe even some of the people that have 2 losses still think they've got a chance to tie for a conference championship. But if you have 1 or no losses like we do, you still have to feel like you're in the running because we have to play Franklin County. And even though they have 2 losses now, they could impact it. Obviously, Lawrenceburg and us have to play. Greensburg has to play Lawrenceburg still. Might be the only time we're rooting for the Pirates.
Might be.
Since they've got 2 losses in the conference and Lawrenceburg has none. But, we'll take them one at a time. Our first conference game amongst those 4 is with Batesville, and that'll be a week from this Saturday.
Important conference game over the weekend. Greensburg.
Yeah, Friday night we're fortunate. Got a win at home. Trailed late, maybe 2.5, 3 minutes to go in the game, and we're down 5. I mean, it's not a large amount, but against a good Greensburg team, very good Greensburg team. We were fortunate. They normally don't give games away when they've got the lead at the end like that.
Yes.
But give our kids credit. We hung around. We were a little bit short-handed. I thought we defended pretty well and made enough plays on the offensive end to come up with a win then.
Played some great games with Greensburg. I remember a year ago, overtime game, and Spartans came out on top. And
down there, overtime during the regular season.
Yes.
And then we got them in the sectional, and they got us both times we played the year before. And they've got us a few times, and we've got them a few times over the years. So been a pretty good series.
Sam Greensburg always
good. It harkens back to when we were defending state champions, and they came here and beat us in the regional. John Rippiger, who is an official who comes here and officiates quite a bit, and the people in Spartan Bowl, I was sitting with my dad there on the south end, and everybody was just in disbelief when we lost that game after being defending state champs.
Yes, it was quite a battle, and it's been that way over the years, it seems.
Well, next time I see John here refereeing, I'm going to ask him where that spot was on the floor where he hit that shot.
Just about where you sat.
I'm sure he remembers it.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. How could you not?
Yeah.
And it was regional, and it was packed. So full house.
They've had really good players over the years that I've been here, and they're very well coached. So that combination's been pretty good for them and pretty tough on the rest of us.
And they were well coached then, Stompin' Phil Snodgrass.
I remember Coach, yep,
yes,
sure do.
Terrific guy, but he wore those hard-soled shoes, and he'd stomp the floor to get his players' attention for sure.
I do remember Coach Snodgrass.
Showing my age here a little bit.
Yeah, must be all of our age. I remember him as well. I was a young coach when he was coaching down there.
Unfortunately, Saturday night was a bit of a different story. Went on the road to Newcastle, and a little bit shorthanded for the Spartans.
We were still shorthanded on Saturday night. That's we're not going to use that as an excuse. They beat us. They are a very good basketball team. Maybe a lot of people don't know about them. I was very impressed with them. Watching them on tape, I said to JD, who had the scout that night, and I'm not passing the buck to him. I had a Friday night, but maybe I am. But I said, JD, these guys might be better in Greensburg. And just the little bit that I started watching them, because I usually don't peek ahead at anybody until after we're done with the game that I'm responsible for. It's kind of like the tournament. You don't get to advance if you don't take care of the game you're on. And I always allow our assistants then to help with the scouting. And I thought from just watching they might have been better in Greensburg. So we knew we had our hands full when we got up there. And, we did some good things. We kept their second leading scorer scoreless.
Yes.
But their leading scorer had a good game. And then their big man in the middle, who we were familiar with, I was impressed with him watching him on tape, had 13. And then their point guard had 13 points. So they played a really good game. We didn't play as well. I mean, we were down 2 at halftime. We got down 12 in the second half and got it back to a 2-possession game, a 6-point lead with about 45, 50 seconds left in the game. And they got some free throws and runouts at the end, ended up beating us by 8, I think it was. But I was impressed with them in person more than I probably was even watching them on tape. So they were a good team, and they are a good team. And we need to take some things away from that loss. As a coaching staff, number one, I think we thought we had to guard the three-point line if we were going to win that game. And it wasn't the three-point line that was the difference in the game. They only maybe made 5. We made 6 or 8 in the game. We shot a real good percentage. It was the lane. It was the paint. And getting to the free throw line. And most of the time, the team that gets the ball inside and gets to the free throw line is going to win those baskets. But so that one was on us as coaches, and we'll make sure next time that we think that that's a key to winning the game, we have evaluated that properly. And then there's some things we still got to do from just a physicality and a toughness standpoint if we want to win some games like that. They were a very physical team.
That they were, and as you said, they were able to get to the line a lot, and they hit them, and that's kind of been a trademark of Newcastle over the years, that seems like they're always a good free throw shooting team.
Well, and I think that's been a trademark of ours over the years, and we're not getting there with the frequency that we have in the past, so that's something we've talked about over the last 2 weeks. We're trying to address, and we've got room for improvement in that area.
Got to get there first, and that's a big issue, but nothing that can't be turned around.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to get the ball into our post players. We're trying to drive the ball to the rim. And our kids have heard all this before. They know that quick, early, fast shots, just the analytics tell you they're not going in. They may once in a while, but the analytics tell you they're not. And our kids have heard that. They've heard it for years. They've heard it this year. And we've just got to do a better job of protecting the ball and having better possessions on offense and not putting as much pressure on our defense. And then our defense needs to just improve. There's things that we're not doing that we've done in the past at a better clip, a higher percentage. And just as an example, taking charges. We're not doing that little thing as well this year as we've done in the past, and that plants a seed in their mind about driving the ball into the basket, kind of slows them down, it gets them in foul trouble and builds up that foul total and gets us to the line eventually. So there's a number of things that happen in addition to it just being a turnover and them losing the basketball.
During the game, several times I could hear you telling the guys, take the charge, take the charge. So,
well, when guys go flying in there, I mean, you have to do one of two things. Either you're helping and you're going to take the charge, or you're stunting, helping, and you're going to get back to your shooter. But when you don't take the charge and you don't get back to the pass, the shooter, you've done neither of those. And we'll keep working at it and try to do a better job. And some of it's scouting report dictated. Some kids are, we call them floaters, I guess, or guys that jump to pass the ball and they're normally floating, or they're driving downhill so hard that those are the guys that are candidates to take a charge on. And again, those are big plays in the game. Get them in foul trouble, get them out. And we're not accomplishing what we want to defensively in that respect.
Do you, when you're getting ready for a team like that, do you share film with the kids to show them what their tendencies are? And just what you just talked about?
We've watched more film in the last 2 weeks, and a lot of it we watched was on ourselves, trying to correct some things. But whether it was correcting something we didn't do against someone else, it's still preparation for the next opponent. And then, we'll watch edit tape on our opponents, individual players and their characteristics, or an offensive set or pattern, or if there's a defense they run that we want to show our kids. Yeah, we do. Matter of fact, I sent, I think there was 3 clips, 3 strands that I had sent out to our kids getting ready for the Greensburg game Friday night. And just expected them to watch it, and we watched some of it together, but there's 2 of them I think I asked them to watch on their own when they got time. But there's just not the time then to get ready from a Friday to a Saturday, but that's why we do that, because you might play 2 games in one day during the state tournament, or the sectional semifinals and championship are on back-to-back nights. So we're prepping and getting ready for that throughout the course of the season, but there's just not as much prep time. I mean, we spent all week last week getting ready for Greensburg, and then JD's report, he got like 75 minutes on Saturday before we got on the bus, and we went up and played. So,
but Friday night was the important one when you get of the 2 games. We wanted to win both of them, but if you had a choice of which one you're going to win, Friday night was the one.
It was, yeah. No doubt that was the game. If we got to pick one last week we wanted to win, it was Friday night.
Defense is so important. Do you believe, as most coaches do, play tough defense and the offense will take care of itself?
That's about what I tell them, Fran, word for word. I think it's not just defense, though. You've got to include the rebounding, and if you do not rebound, they're going to get second, third opportunities, and so your defense can be good, but if you don't finish the possession and get a rebound, they get another opportunity.
Sure.
So that's about word for word what I tell them. I tell them we got to defend, we got to rebound. I said the offense will take care of itself. We'll score enough, we'll get enough, and we'll be in good enough shape. So that's about what we tell them.
I know defense is so important in your mind. I know you preach that and preach it and preach it.
I just think it gives us an opportunity to beat teams maybe that have more talent than we do. I think it's one of those levels the playing field a little bit.
Then help create turnovers?
Which would lead to easy opportunities. We just don't want people to get run out transition layups. We work hard on that. We stress that. We don't want guys to score the ball inside. But obviously we made a mistake in our preparation for the Newcastle team, again, because just in watching them, and I didn't disagree going into the game, I thought we had to guard the 3-point line more than we did the lane. But over the course of the season, whoever gets the ball to the lane, it's proven statistically, whoever gets the ball into the lane, whoever gets the ball closest to the basket, you're going to shoot more free throws and you're going to have more success. If all you do is shoot jump shots, that's going to come and go, and you're going to lose a lot more games than you're going to win.
Sure. Have some film from a recent Spartan game. Let's check it out right now. Spartan getting ready for the Newcastle team.
There's Caleb hitting the shot from the corner. Toby assisting it. Let's see who got that shot off. Might have been Carter. There's Carter. Carter played well. Bench 4s, he did. And he played good defensively the night before. So there's Luke, I thought played really hard Saturday night. Carter hitting another one. Nice pass. Toby gets the assist and the gauge on that play. And that's what we're trying to get a little bit more of. Toby getting to the basket. Lucas getting it inside, again inside. So
reverse.
Yeah, we just have to do that with a lot more frequency.
Kids look good, though, I think, overall.
Well, we got split for the weekend, and we were shorthanded, so that was important. We could possibly see Greensburg again.
Yes.
And if we do, it'll be in the tournament. So we know we've played them at full strength, and we weren't. So That should put us in a good situation if we're going to meet them again. And then Newcastle, if we were to see them again this year, would be really late. Probably wouldn't be until like state tournament time. I mean, down the road.
Like
they go
state
north.
Final.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that would be good if we got to play them again as well. But they're just stuff we're still. We're not last year's team, and we're still work in progress. And we have work to do between now and the end of the season and getting ready for the tournament.
But there's still time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes, there is. Very much so.
Sure.
There's a lot of time left. I mean, if I won't maybe get this exactly right, we've practiced 35 or 36 times this year. And that number sticks in my mind. Maybe we're ready for 37. We had tonight off because we've got 4 days to get ready for our Saturday game at Noblesville, so I gave today off. But, I mean, that's still not a lot with considering all of us being together. And then some of us haven't been there at times because of illness or injury or just like this last week, we were without Josh and James. So, but I think we're on ready for practice 36 or 37. So it's still a lot of time left.
What is the protocol for how long do players have to be out if they're?
I'll probably get this wrong.
It seems like it's a moving target to me.
Yeah, it's tough. Some of it's if you're masked, if you're not masked, if you're vaccinated, if you're not vaccinated. It was hard for me to follow, but they got 5 days. They have to come back and not have symptoms and then be masked up for 5 more in school and in practice. I assume they get to take them off for the game. I'll have to double check that between now and then, but it used to be 10 days. And now the guidelines have limited it to 5 days, as long as you're, I guess, symptom-free. But I probably left something out.
And are there a required number of practices they have to attend before?
No, they have not missed enough that they have to make up. Like if they were injured and out a long period of time, then they would have to come back and make up 5 or 6 practices. They have not missed that much time.
Good.
This COVID thing has caused many problems.
Yeah. But you know what? I mean, it is what it is. The only thing we can worry about, and I've been telling our kids this as well, I think I had a conversation with one of them Saturday night because he was a little bit frustrated, but I probably told the whole team, there's only certain things we can control. So worry about the things that we can control, and the things that we can't, you cannot let them impact or affect you in a negative way.
Sure.
Just worry about the things you can control, do the best you can in that respect, and move on. But the things that are beyond your control, don't worry about them.
Do you test the players, or is it only when they feel not quite up to?
We do not. What I tell them is, if you're not feeling good,
what you don't know
stay
don't
home.
hurt you.
No, because we don't want everybody getting contact traced out, or 4 or 5 guys, but then we still are expected to go play, and then we're really shorthanded. We just tell them, and we're honest with the coaches and players, if you're not feeling good, stay away. And then when you get feeling better, you're welcome to come back, because you never know right now. I mean, there's a lot of flu and colds, just the normal stuff going around in addition to. So someone I just heard at school today, they had a headache, and their mom was going to get him COVID tested.
Right?
Just take a couple aspirin and see if it goes away.
Yeah, so, I mean, they actually appeared on the list I saw because Mom had said, well, I'm going to go take him and get him tested. But I probably shouldn't be saying all that, but the student just said, no, I had a headache. But, better be safe than sorry, I guess.
Sure, in the long run. But
This week here at CHS in the middle school, let's check out the schedule. The freshmen are playing basketball. They're home with Beech Grove. The middle school boys are at Centerville Monday. Middle school girls home to Centerville on Tuesday. Tuesday we'll have the gymnastics home with Newcastle and New Palestine. That's the opening of the season, isn't it, Coach?
I bet it is.
I think it is, yeah.
I bet it is.
It is.
Yeah. Lady Spartan basketball will be coming up on Tuesday night, JV and varsity at 6 and 7:30. Middle school basketball will be at South Dearborn at 6 o'clock. Wednesday, boys freshman basketball home to Muncie Central at 6. Wrestling at Hagerstown at 6. The middle school boys will be at Newcastle. The middle school girls will be at Seton Catholic at 5:30. On Thursday, gymnastics at Rushville at 6:30. Middle school boys home to Seton at 5:30. On Friday, the Lady Spartans will be at Franklin County for games at 6 and 7:30. Saturday, wrestling is the conference event coming up. The middle school basketball will be at Newcastle in an invitational starting at 9:30 on Saturday morning. Swimming will be at Spartan Pool with Oldenburg Academy in South Dearborn at 11. Spartan basketball, freshman, JV, and varsity at Noblesville, 6 and 7:30. So a big weekend for the Spartan basketball teams.
Triple header on Saturday at Noblesville. So there's a few times Pendleton and Mount Vernon and Shelbyville and Noblesville, all three of them play on the same night, which makes a lot of sense and frees up some other nights possibly then for practices or whatnot when you have so many teams going. But yeah, we'll take all three teams up there, and it'll be a tough game. They're good. Their record's 500 now, maybe a game over. But we talk about our schedule. There aren't any easy games on their schedule either. So they've got some really good players, and they've got a state championship coach. So looking forward to it.
I'll bet.
It'll be a great atmosphere and opportunity for the Spartans on Saturday night. Last year, if you remember, they came down here and got us in a close game. We really thought we should have we should have won. They kind of took it from us at the end of the game. So looking forward to the rematch.
I always like to give a history lesson when we play Noblesville. John Connor founded Connorsville, and William Connor founded Noblesville. So I always think of it as our sister city. So.
I knew there was a connection with Connor, but I wasn't
the Connor Prairie
sure.
and all that.
Yep.
Yeah. JV and varsity, they'll be playing at 6 o'clock.
The freshmen and the JV will play at 6 o'clock, and then the varsity will follow at 7:30, yes.
And they have 2 gyms that you can use.
They've got a bunch of gyms up there.
A bunch of gyms.
Yeah, they've got a few gyms.
It's their main gyms. It's pretty nice. It's been a long time. Our
It's
girls used to go. Well, when we were Olympic conference. Back when we were Olympic conference, it was new.
Now, so that gym's been there that long. I wasn't quite sure how long it'd been there, but yeah, they've got a new gym. Sits right there behind the boys' club, right? Sits right there behind their boys' club and the McDonald's as you go in on.
Well, it's right there, part of the high school. Yeah.
Is the JV team the Spartans? How are these young guys coming?
I've been up and down a little bit, but sometimes when we're missing guys, we steal players from them.
Okay.
Maybe not for the entire game, but for quarters, so that affects their rotation. We lost to Greensburg on Friday night. Greensburg's JV's undefeated. We competed for about 3 quarters the other night at Newcastle. Then they stretched it out and won by double digits on Saturday night. We've got some wins. I can't tell you exactly what the record is right now. And there was also a couple kids that were going back and forth between the freshmen and the JV team while we were helping out the freshman team, so to speak, because of numbers down there and kids not quite ready to play yet.
How are they doing, though, as a freshman?
Freshmen are doing well. I mean, they're winning some close, hotly contested games. I can't tell you again what their record is, but I know I find out whether they win or lose every night because Coach brings me the laundry and my wife does it up every night for them, so it's ready for the next game. And I was just seeing as you were reading, they play tonight. I'll be there, and then they play Wednesday at home. So I'll get some laundry tonight for her to get ready for Wednesday.
I saw we had Beech Grove tonight. I don't remember us playing Beech Grove, and that may not be a bad team to play sometime in the future for the varsity.
Yeah, that would be someone that we would look into picking up. I know Brent's mentioned that Lawrence North's going off, and we've got a 1-year contract with North Davies. But, yeah, we've been playing him at the freshman level for the last 3 or 4 years. And I don't think – I've been to their school scouting. I don't think it'd be a terrible trip. You've got a little bit of the interstate you got to deal with, 465. But if it was on Saturday, that'd be better. And we do play Lawrence North on a Saturday. We'd have to see if their schedule accommodated it. But, yeah, that'd be –
it's just as close as going to Lawrence
North. And they've
been
really good the last few years.
When do you and Brent, the athletic director, get together and work on schedules? I mean, it's a combination.
You know, just whenever we know a contract's running out, he'll say something to me, and, you know, we'll discuss whether we want to renew it if the other school wants to, and or if we want to pick someone else up. Sometimes if I know we have an opening, I'll send feelers out to coaches that I know, and ask if there's any interest. And sometimes coaches will reach out to me, like the North Davies coach did. He's from Rushville, played here in the Spartan Bowl, wanted his kids to play in that atmosphere. So, and they're supposed to be really good. They're ranked number 1 in 1A this year, but it's their junior class. It's their really good class. So they'd be coming up next year, and his kids would get that opportunity to play here. And so there'll be good competition. But usually it's just kind of as on the fly, or maybe not so much on the fly, but we discuss it, and then, we act as we need to.
Sure. Has to come from both sides, doesn't it?
Well, the two schools have to agree, and then, something that whoever we want to play, Brent lets me put on the schedule. And if I wanted to, go play, dummy it down, we could. And if we want to play a tough schedule, we do. So he's been very accommodating from that standpoint.
But you want a tough schedule.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I think we play a really good schedule, and I think just the bottom line is, win or lose, it helps prepare you for the tournament here. We had 7 losses going into the sectional last year, and we won the sectional.
Right.
We got beat in the regional championship game, and there wasn't anything that we saw in the tournament last year that we hadn't saw during the regular season. Not from height to speed to athleticism to, talented basketball players. We saw some really good players throughout the year, and that helped prepare us.
Something we didn't used to hear about when it was one-class basketball so much as we do now. I hear people say, well, we're playing a 1A school, we're playing a 2A school. But just as you said, they can be very good. Proof right there at Monroe Central when they came to town. They're undefeated right now. And you're talking about North Davies, that a very good basketball team. It doesn't necessarily matter how many students they have in the student body. If they can put 5 good players on the floor, then...
Well, and I think as opposed to like football, you don't need as many bodies, obviously. And a lot of teams, they'll play 5, maybe 6 because of numbers. And, Newcastle did that forever. They hardly ever subbed. Greensburg is like that almost as well. They only played 6 guys the other night, and that was by design. And they've never played a whole lot of guys. So you don't need as many. And if you got 5 good ones, you can go out there and play with just about anybody.
Exactly.
Just for a second, the Hall of Fame games that the Spartans played, learning experiences for your boys?
I hope so. There were some things we discussed that came out of that. And that was probably, you asked about watching tape. That was probably as much tape as we'd watched in a while, breaking down some of those games and trying to make some corrections. So we'll find out if it was a learning experience or not. We'll see, the body of work that we put in over the second half of the season. But, yeah, we definitely broke that stuff down, created some edit tape to show the guys what we wanted to do differently, and we're still working at it.
There were some kids that are going to college in Class 1 and that were in the tournament.
Westfield has 2 guys. The Smith kid's going to go to Purdue, and then the Hafner kid got an offer from Eastern Illinois, with smaller Division I school. Cathedral, they probably had their whole starting 5, has Division I offers. And Westfield had them down 25 points. And then Homestead had at least 1 who's going to go to Purdue, really good player, maybe be Mr. Basketball. If not, the Smith kid will be. And then they had some other kids that were really good and big and physical kids. And then Westfield beat number 1 Carmel just this past weekend. Now, Carmel was down 2 guys, shorthanded, but still. Westfield's a very good team, very well coached, very disciplined, fundamental, good defensively. So it was a great challenge, great opportunity, great recognition for our community and our program.
Yes, it was, and I hope that we get another invitation pretty soon.
It'll take at least 4 years, so we'll have to see about that.
Well, that'll be great if we do. But congratulations, Coach, on the season and all that you and the kids have accomplished. And I knew you'll keep working hard and come up with some crucial victories here in the next few weeks.
We will keep working hard, and we will do our best.
Coach, thanks as always for joining us. Gary Brown, head coach, and have a quick recovery here.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you very much.
Go Spartans.
Go Spartans.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody, for watching this edition of the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. Good night.